Here we go. Muscles, Magic the Gathering Live. I am Bobby Maximus. I am the Muscles. These cards, Magic the Gathering, something that's been a passion of mine for over 30 years. I've literally been playing since the mid 90s. Now, if you've followed me before, or if you are a follower, a subscriber, if you will, you know that one of my favorite things to do in the world is deck tech. I love building decks. I love working on decks. I love the collection aspect of Magic the Gathering. When I build my decks, I'm not just about, how do I word this? I'm not just about competitiveness, right? Like gaming for me, it isn't about winning and losing. And this is something that frustrates me in the community. Everyone is so worked up over banned cards. Everyone's worked up about brackets, what power level somebody's at, because they want to win. Like they hate losing. I am here for an experience. I am here for fun. I am here for storytelling. So a lot of the decks that I build, they aren't based on necessarily winning or losing, but they're based on building my collection. I've got 55 commander decks right now, and I'm actually going to on my side computer, I'm going to pull up my Moxfield list, and I currently have 55 full complete commander decks. That's what I stand at right now. I shouldn't say 55. That's a little untrue. I'm at 54, and I'm currently finishing my new Savala deck. I'm building a Brostorm type of deck. Big, stompy, green creatures and some unlimited mana combos. But yeah, that's going to be my 55th commander deck. And as I look through the list, like I've got the 20 Ways to Win Precon, but I updated it and I made a lot of upgrades to it. I've got an Assassin's Creed themed deck. I've got an energy deck. I've got a Phyrexian deck, which is based on poison counters. I've got a humans deck. I've got a Planeswalker deck, a Super Friends type deck. That's a Prismatic Bridge. I've got an Eldrazi deck, which is a 5-colored Eldrazi deck helmed by Ulalek. I've got a colorless Eldrazi deck. I've got another Phyrexian deck that's actually just Phyrexian creatures without the theme being poison counters. So I'm really trying to hit all the themes in Magic. I'm not necessarily worried about banned cards or unbanned cards. I'm not necessarily worried about bracket level. Like I don't build decks to be a bracket 1 or a bracket 2 or anything like that. I generally just build decks with collection at the forefront, right? So anyway, tonight I wanted to talk about a couple of decks that are currently under construction in my world. I've actually got 2 and a couple of extra cards I've got for them. And I'd like to search for an Ancient Silver Dragon or an Ancient Copper Dragon or an Ancient Bronze Dragon. We are going to look for some dragons and do a pack opening. And we are going to talk about what I believe to be the funnest Magic the Gathering deck ever. So we're going to start with some reinforcements that I got. Some reinforcements have arrived. We got Minkskin Boo. I'm using that for my Knight at the Trash Pandas deck. That's a Bellow Bard of the Brambles deck. We've got arguably the greatest Planeswalker of all time, Oko, Thief of Crowns. All right. One of the reasons this is the greatest Planeswalker of all time is look at his second ability here. +1. Target artifact or creature loses all abilities and becomes a green elk creature with base power and toughness 3/3. Great way to take care of somebody else's commander. Another great way to take care of somebody's commander. This is going to go in that Savala Brostorm deck I was talking about. Kenrith's Transformation. If you're going to build a green commander deck, I would put this in for sure. Not a lot of people know about this card, but it's super underrated. Enchant creature. When Kenrith's Transformation enters the battlefield, draw a card, so you got some card draw. And then enchanted creature loses all abilities, is a green elk creature with base power and toughness 3/3. Great way to take care of somebody's commander. Return of the Wild Speaker, that's going in that big stompy green Savala deck. Oracle of Moldiah going in the big green stompy deck. Marwyn the Nurturer makes a great unlimited combo with something called the Staff of Domination. That is going in the big green Savala stompy deck. And then we have the Fanatic of Ronus also going in the big green stompy deck. And I want to show you these as well. These came in over the past few weeks, and I want to show you these. All right, Brennan Ray, what's up, Mr. Maximus? Love the MTG channel. Just got into Magic after playing in the 90s, in part due to your channel. I love to hear that. I loved Magic back in the 90s, and I love to hear it's helping you get back into it. I think it's a wonderful game, and it's a really fun hobby to be able to collect some cards. So great to have you, and thank you for that. We got some other cards I want to show you. Biorhythm. If you were in it in the 90s, man, listen, in the 2000s and in the mid 2000s, a bunch of great cards came out. So we can kind of share some of those. You may be aware of what this is if you were a player in the 90s, the Library of Alexandria. This is going to go in my Urza deck, but classic card. Yawgmoth's Bargain, another great card. Skip your draw step, pay 1 life, draw a card. Creates a great little combo with Shieldred. Yes, it is banned, but I play with banned cards. Recurring Nightmare, another great card. Tolarian Academy, amazing card. We have a Balanced Tomb, and I actually don't know why that is here. I can't remember where this card came from. I'm going to have to look that up on my Card Kingdom. I was doing a live today, not a live, a podcast, and I got to figure out where that guy goes now. Balanced Tomb. Let's see. I'm looking at it for it now. Ancient Tomb. All right. The Well of Tears. That's where it's from. Guaranteed. All right. Yep. It is from the Well of Tears. All right. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. That was almost a hiccup. If I wouldn't have known where that card was, it's actually one of the reasons with 55 Commander decks, I've got all my stuff at Moxfield. And one of the things I do is I put all my decks in different colored sleeves so I can kind of keep track of them. So that was a close one. Great White Productions, 33. I've been playing since 2003. I have a library, some great old cards you have there. Love it. Love to hear it. Tolarian Academy, Recurring Nightmare, Yawgmoth's Bargain, and somebody that's never heard anybody, Rafellos. So we have a bunch of old cards here. Man, that Balanced Tomb caused me stress. All right. So what I want to talk about today is the funnest Magic the Gathering deck ever. And I want to show you a little deck that I've been building. I actually just recorded a podcast on this topic today. Hence, I should have known where the Balanced Tomb came from, but I had a bit of a panic moment. My decks mean everything to me. So, lost my cool, if you will. Don't lose my cool in the Octagon. Don't lose my cool in a World Jiu-Jitsu Championship. But Magic the Gathering cards, my decks are out of order. Yeah, I lose my cool. Anyway, I was really disappointed when Wizards did not unban a whole plethora of cards. I'm a believer that a lot of these cards should be unbanned. And I will go on the, just at face value, being completely transparent. The reason I think a lot of these cards should be unbanned is because a lot of them were banned because certain groups of people found cards to be unfun, right? It's unfun to play against a Hull Breacher. It's unfun to play against a Mana Crypt. It's unfun to play against a Dockside Extortionist. Well, first of all, I want to poke some holes in that. Sure, it's unfun to play against a Hull Breacher. Fine. I get it. It's your opinion. Respect. Is it fun for you to play against a Thassa's Oracle in a Demonic Consultation? Is it fun for you to play against Heuristic Study? Is it fun for you to play against Smothering Tithe? You see, a lot of cards people consider quote-unquote unfun. So are we to ban everything that is unfun? The other thing, when you're determining what's unfun, it's all based on personal opinion. So a lot of the stuff on the banned list, there was certain groups of people that just didn't like those cards. There's not a real basis for banning them. You can make an argument that the One Ring is far more powerful than a lot of cards that are on the banned list. So in the spirit of this, I made the funnest Magic the Gathering deck in the world. And I picked a fun commander. Grand Arbiter Augustine IV. All right? Vault Boy Cap Collector. It's the Vault Boy version of it. But I got a comment I want to read here before I go on. I think they're unbanning cards solely to see how the game changers work, to see if they can self-regulate. If it works, Gavin from MTG, so they'll unban more cards. I really hope he does. I want all the cards, and I made no secret about this. I want all the cards unbanned. All right? Maybe not Chaos Orb because it doesn't make sense, but, something like everything else I want unbanned. But anyway, tongue in cheek, I did a podcast today that you guys will see. I'm going to release it next week. But one of the things I wanted to talk about in the podcast was if the unbanned or the cards that are banned, I'm sorry, if the cards that are banned are unfun, then, and I have a little prop for you here. Here we go. I'm going to actually put this down right here. Read it. Banned equals unfun. Then therefore, unbanned equals fun. You see what I did there? We took the un off and put it on banned. Fun. This is just math. This is algebra. This is how it works. It's just logic. If you're going to tell me that cards are banned because they are unfun, then therefore, using logic and philosophy, all unbanned cards must therefore be fun. That's the premise we're working at. So I made this fun deck out of completely unbanned cards because normally I play with banned cards. People tell me they're not fun. So let's see this fun deck that I built from cards with no bans. Great White Productions, you're going to love this. So our commander is Grand Arbiter Augustine IV. I put in a Ghostly Prison, not banned. So it must be a fun card. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Is Ghostly Prison a fun card? It's unbanned, so it must be fun. We have Ensnaring Bridge, the Bridge of Khazad-dûm, another fun card. Creatures with power greater than the number of cards in your hand can't attack. Greater Ornamency, give my enchantment some protection. Rest in Peace, a little graveyard hate, another fun card. Authority of the Consuls, creatures your opponents control enter tapped, another really fun card. By the way, how am I doing? I'd love to hear from you in the comments in building this fun deck so far. The Sphere of Safety, another extremely fun card. Monologue Tax, the Poor Man's Smothering Tithe. Back to Basics, non-basic lands don't untap during their controller's untap steps. Really fun card. Treachery, really fun card. Mana Drain, Force of Negation. Everybody loves counterspells. Wrath of God, great fun card. Ooh, maybe the funnest one in the deck. It's got an argument for it. Armageddon, not banned, so people must love Armageddon. The Merchant Scroll, the Mystical Tutor, the Dramatic Reversal. And here's a great card, Replenish. Return all enchantment cards from your graveyard to play. There are a ton of enchantment cards in this deck. There are 12, so I needed to put a Replenish in there. Here is, has another argument for one of the funnest cards in Magic, Stasis. Put your hands up if you love Stasis. Slimed, or Trickbind, Cryptic Command, Counterspell, 3 Steps Ahead, Path to Exile, Consigned to Memory, Swords to Plowshares, Soul Ring. A lot of people hate Soul Ring, right? My question is, why is Soul Ring legal, but Mana Crypt's not? I mean, we could take a little poll. If you were playing a game of Commander and there was something on the line, say you did the ante thing or say you were betting money, say, and you can have any card in your opening hand. Would you rather have a Mana Crypt or a Soul Ring? 10 out of 10 players are going to take a Soul Ring. God Pharaoh's Statue. Spells your opponent's cast cost 2 more to cast. Great fun card. Propaganda, fun card. What else do we have that's fun in this deck? Great White Productions. You know it's in here. Smothering Tithe. Rhystic Study. Fun card. Pithing Needle. Crawl Space. Cursed Totem. Torpor Ord. Shards of Narsil. We have an Arcane Signet, an Isochron Scepter, but you can see all the fun cards in the world are here. Here's another fun one. Game Changer. The One Ring. Oh, the Meek Stone. Super fun. Fun written all over it. Creatures with power 3 or greater don't untap during their controller's untap steps. Archivist of Ogma. The Aven Mind Sensor. Delny Streetwise Lookout. Lavinia Azorius Renegade. The Malevolent Hermit. The Thieving Skydiver, underrated card for Graveyard Hate. Tomic, Distinguished Advocate, right? Great White Production says Moat might be good here. I would love a Moat in here. I actually don't have one. Back in the day, I really needed 2 Shivan Dragons, and I traded a Moat for 2 Shivan Dragons. My 16-year-old, who's heavily invested in Magic, said he will never forgive me. Spicy Iguana says, I have a green neon ink Mana Crypt that I refuse to give up. even though it's banned. Hoping for the day it gets unbanned. Yeah, I would not give that up either. Talia, Guardian of Thraben, the Soulless Jailer. Talia, Heretic Cathar, Linvala, Keeper of Silence, Jin Gitaxis, Progress, Tyrant. The fun doesn't stop. Consecrated Sphinx, Tower and Sky Summoner, Mockingbird, Baral, Chief of Compliance. This deck is so much fun. I just thought that a sweet old lady would do good in here. The Academy Rector, Myral, Shield of Argive, a couple of really fun Planeswalkers, Teferi, Time Raveler, and Dovin, the Hand of Control. Oh, and for my friend Great White Productions, we have a Winter Orb. What a fun deck. Rate this on a scale of 1 to fun. Like if 1 is 0, this is like a hate, like this deck is just hate written all over it. And a 10 is like, this is the funnest deck ever. Where are we at? And I think it's got to get a 10 because I'm going to check my Mox field right now. Yep, there are no banned cards. Therefore, this game, this deck is fun. That's my logic, and I'm sticking to it. Breakout is a great alter art target for Kool-Aid Man meme. Great White Productions. Someone in my group built braids and the other friends wouldn't play with him. It was kind of hilarious. That's actually really funny. My groups just play with whatever. We're there to game and have fun and have the experience. One of the things I love with Dungeons and Dragons, really good buddy of mine, Joe Sabula, and my co-host in the Muscles and Magic the Gathering podcast. He's been a DM for years, and it was funny because I asked him, like, does anyone win Dungeons and Dragons? And no, you win by telling a great story and having a great time. That to me is important. So Great White Productions, if we played online, I want to be friends with you. I want to laugh. I want to learn about your life. Like, that's why I play Magic the Gathering. I can care less whether I win or lose a game, to be honest with you. It doesn't matter to me. And even the game experience, like, I like combos out of nowhere. I like fun things. I like variety. That's why I'm building all my decks differently. And I actually think the banned list takes away from variety. With the banned list, if I'm trying to stay away from it, I don't have enough variety in my decks, to be honest with you. So just my opinion. Note that in this deck, I call it, it's a very fun name, the Well of Tears. I make these little labels for my deck boxes. But with this deck, the Well of Tears, the funnest Magic the Gathering deck ever, I've got a couple of cards to add. A Dranith Magistrate, a Grand Abolisher, Voice of Victory, and a Narset Parter of Veils. 4 really fun cards. Oh, and a Grafdigger's Cage. That's another one I'm adding. Spicy Iguana, not going to lie, most people hate playing against these type of decks, but I personally find the challenge fun to beat stacks. That's why green is out of control and casual, can't destroy lands. I agree green is out of control. Community is what it's all about, being able to play with friends. You are correct. That's what I love. So that's one deck I'm working on. The next that I'm working on is a big stompy deck, and my commander for this is Selvala, but I am actually missing a Selvala, so I have to order one from Card Kingdom. But just to go through this, a Disciple of Freelis, Carpet of Flowers, Sensei's Dividing Top, Raphelos, Land War Emissary, Primeval Titan, Primetime had to be in there, the Virtue of Strength, the Birthing Ritual, Fauna Shaman, the Eldritch Evolution, Reclamation Sage, Ulamog, Emrakul, Ulamog, Kozilek. Look at all of these. Collector Investor should have put a Helm of Host in that deck. Helms of the Host, I love that deck as well, or that card, if you will. I just don't have any extras. I got 55 commander decks. It's already used in my Goblin decks that have Krenko. I need another one. Greater Good, Primordial Horde, or Primordial Hydra, Old Gnawbone, Zopendrill, Goreclaw, Smuggler's Surprise, Last March of the Ents, Lupine Prototype. The goal of this Selvala deck is to get big, beefy creatures out fast for a low casting cost, and then start to create mana and basically draw cards and draw through your entire deck. So Garruk, Court of Calling, Findhorn Elves, Sol Ring, Priest of Titania, Regal Force, Land War Elves, Gulta the Primal Hunger, Staff of Domination makes a great combo with Marwyn, all right? Rishkar's Expertise, and then we have a bunch of lands. I need to add to this deck, so this is my big green stompy deck with Selvala. I need to get a Phyrexian Dreadnought. If you know what that is, it's a great card for this deck. A great way to cheat a bunch of cards into play. I need the Fanatic of Ronus, Marwyn the Nurturer, great combination with the Staff of Domination, Oracle of Moldiah, Return of the Wild Speaker, Kenris Transformation. So I am working on this deck right now. I am going to order a Phyrexian Dreadnought. I am going to order a Selvala. Trying to think, I need a Worldly Tutor. I would like that. I would like a Green Sun's Zenith. I'd like a Natural Order. I'd love a Survival of the Fittest in this deck, so I may just spring for the cost of one and order it. I've got two of them. I'm using them. One of them's in my Chatterfang deck. The other one is in my Elf deck, so I'll see if I can order another one. And we got some comments here. Spicy Iguana says, last March to the Ents has won me many games. Why isn't it a game changer? I don't know. I think it's a great card. There's a lot of cards still on the game changers list that. There's a lot of cards that aren't game changers that need to be on the game changers list. One of the things that I've always argued, you can build a Category 2 deck that plays like a Category 3 or a 4 even. Hear me out on this. A Diabolic Intent in some cases is as good, especially in a mono black deck, as a Demonic Tutor. You can make that argument, right? In a mono black deck, you're sacrificing stuff anyway. A Diabolic Intent goes just as hard. So you have a Demonic Tutor in your 3 deck. You built it to be a 3. If you want to go down to a 2, you take the Demonic Tutor out, put a Diabolic Intent in. All of a sudden it's a 2, but it still plays like a 3. So there's a lot of nuance in the bracket system. You got to look at it the way me and my play group look at it, and especially me and my co-host Joe Sabula on my Muscles and Magic the Gathering podcast is like, we kind of rank it like, is this a 2.1 or a 2.9? Is this a 3.1 or a 3.9? Because there is a lot of variance in it. Great White Productions has put Primeval Titan in there. We do have a Prime Time in there. Collector Invest says, I only keep one commander deck that I can dismantle and build a different deck with my commander collection. Gaia's Cradle, Great White Productions. I love Gaia's Cradle. I only own 2. It's in my Chatterfang deck and it's in my Elf deck. I wish I had more that would go in every green deck I own. Collector Invest, an Anwan the Rune Thief commander deck. I have an Anwan the Rune Thief commander deck as well. It's one of my favorite decks. It's called the Rogues Gallery. Really, really fun to play. Spicy Iguana says, Diabolic Intent could even be better if using the Aristocrats. Absolutely agree. So, yeah, the bracket system gets kind of weird. So with all that said, I think it's time to open some packs. I really want to open some packs, and I want to go play some Magic the Gathering, eat a steak, and probably watch some Devil May Cry on Netflix. I love it. So let's start with the Brothers' War, because the goal of these packs is to look for the Ancient Dragons. So let's open Brothers' War. We're going to start with that. All right, and there's no tab on these packs. These are the hard ones to open, but we're going to see if my big hands can do it. And let's see if we can get the Brothers' War. Let's look for some serialized cards. All right, so we have Military Discipline. We have Wing Commando. By the way, who else is addicted to collector's packs, right? Remember the days we used to have to just open set boosters? Scrapwork Mutt, Thopter Mechanic, Ashnod's Harvester. Now we're getting to the good stuff. Mountain. Oh, Spicy Iguana, I would love a Mox Amber, a serialized one, all right? We have the Arcane Proxy. Great card. Fauna Shaman, another great card, useful in a green deck. That goes in my big green Stompy deck. Hexavis. Flying Hexavis enters the battlefield with 6 1/1 counters on it. Remove a 1/1 counter from Hexavis. Put a flying counter on another target creature. Remove a counter from another creature you control. Put a 1/1 counter on Hexavis. That actually might work really well in my counter deck. A Millstone. A Soul Guide Lantern. Optimus Prime Hero. Not the Shattered Glass version. Inspiring Statuary. Takesia's Welcome. This pack was not a winner. I mean, there were some useful cards in it. That's useful in a deck. I really, really like that card. That might work well in my Stacks deck because I've got a lot of small creatures in there. That's a good card. That's a decent card. Millstone I love. I've always loved it. Funnest Shaman, Arcane Proxy. But that pack was not a winner. Oh, Hexavis with Bellow, Bard of the Brambles. I like that idea. I actually really, really like that idea. That will go into my Bellow, Bard of the Brambles deck. I actually don't know how much that's worth. I want to look it up. A lot of times I look stuff up on Card Kingdom. I really like Card Kingdom, by the way. Big supporter of them. Funnest Shaman is survival. Yeah, it's a great budget. Survival of the fittest. All right, Hexavis. Let's see. 69 cents, but yeah, I agree. Nuts in the Bellow, Bard of the Brambles deck, so that will go there. Now let's look at our first. Let's find some dragons. All right, let's see. Ancient Copper. Ancient Copper would make all of these packs worthwhile and make up for that not so good Brothers War. Every time I open a Brothers War pack, I think I'm going to open a serialized Mox Amber, but it doesn't happen. Minimus Containment, Guiding Bolt, Bale's Invoker, Iron Mastiff, Treasure Keeper, Swamp, Scanos Dragonheart, Sword Coast Sailor, Acolyte of Bahamut. All right. Actually, this is really cool. This is a really good dragon deck, or a dragon card. I might put that in one of my dragon decks. Baba Lysaga, Grell Philosopher, Caves of Chaos Adventurer, Popular Entertainer, Glunch the Bestower, and Raphael Fiendish Savior. Other demons, devils, imps, and tieflings you control get +1/+1, have lifelink. Man, I might need to put that in my Fiends of the Chaos Shrine, Kalia of the Vast deck. All right, that was not a winner, that pack. All right, let's get to the next one. I really, Daddy really wants an Ancient Copper Dragon. All right, so, yeah, the Ancient Copper Foil. Let's hope for that. Send me all your luck, people. All right. Handling Org, Guardian Naga, Atrocious Experiment, Manifold Key, Gate Colossus, Swamp, Cloak of the Bat, Commander, Lydia Portal, Livin' Cultist of Tiamat. All right. Not a bad card. Luxury Suite, Great Land, Nalfashni, Beast Demon, Illithid Harvester, Will, Blade of Frontiers, Ragadraga, Gorguts, Shadowheart, Dark. Man, we are striking out. We have one pack left. Sometimes I regret buying packs. Man, these packs cost me about $90. I could have got a one ring for that. Should have bought the one ring. That's what I'm saying right now, unless there's a big pull in this one. Nature's Lore, Scouting Hawk, Coronation of Chaos, Emerald Dragon, not the dragon we want, Giant Antheg, Plains, Ellen Harbreeze, Thrakus the Butcher, Kadira, Caller of the Small. All right, here, Bale, Lord of Murder. Ooh, Black Market Connections. Like that card. It's come down in value, but that's a good one. Altar of Bale, and I can tell you this pack is going to be a loser right now. Asterion the Decadent, Death Touch, Lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, choose one. Feed, target opponent loses life equal to the amount of life they lost this turn. Friends, you gain life equal to the amount of life you gain this turn. That's actually not a bad card. John Irenaeus, Shattered One. Oh, here we go. Blood Money. Destroy all creatures. For each non-token creature destroyed this way, you create a tapped treasure token. I actually kind of like that. I wonder what that one is worth. Luxury Suite is a good card, but yeah, we kind of struck out here. I wish I would have bought the one ring instead of these three packs, but it was fun. Gave me something to do on the opening. Last time I did this, I had like God packs, so that's how it works out. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Collector Invest, are you still with us? I am buying a Foundation starter kit to use it for Commander Seal. I love it, and you have the N1 deck, correct? You are with me. So, Collector Invest, stay there. I got something for you before I end the live. Let's see what we got here. All my decks. Right. Oh, here we go. I'll just show you off this real quick because I do really love this deck. It's one of my favorite decks. Collector Invest, I need you to stay tuned. You better bump the algorithm up with lots of comments for this, okay? All right, here we go. Get ready. It's about to get crazy. Here you go, Collector Invest. Anwan the Rune Thief. You told me you had an Anwan the Rune Thief deck, so let's go through mine. We're going to go through it fast. I'm actually going to do a full deck tech video on this, so stay tuned. Fairy Mastermind, Reliquary Tower, Coat of Arms, Criddle of Baldur's Gate, Path of Ancestry, Rev, Tithe Extractor. This is a rogue kinfolk deck. Swamp, Dust Bowl, Mystical Tutor, Swamp, the Mana Crypt, Drown in the Lock, but it's the secret layer version of this. Phyrexian Metamorph, a Gilded Drake. Look at that. Just a random Gilded Drake hanging out in here. Reanimate. We do have a Thassa's Oracle. All right. Cavern of Souls, Cyclonic Rift, the One Ring, Force of Will, some lands, Diabolic Intent, Rankle, the Master of Pranks, a beautiful grindstone here, right? Painter's Servant. Who knows about this combo? Grindstone, Painter's Servant, classic Magic the Gathering combo right there. We have a Thespian Stage, Drowned Catacomb, an autographed Swamp by the artist, an Underground River. We have the Island. We have Tiffany, the Bride of Chucky, which is also Varagoth, the Blood Sky Sire. Dimir Guildgate, Brazen Borrower. We have a Vanquisher's Banner, Ancient Tomb. How am I doing so far? This is not a bad Anwan the Rune themed deck, let me tell you. Land, Vampiric Tutor, the Invisible Stalker, Una, Queen of the Fae, Gloomlake Verge, Opposition Agent, you know that had to be in there. Polluted Delta, Lazav, Dimir Mastermind, Changeling Outcast, Tainted Pact, Una's Blackguard, Tiny Bones the Pickpocket. We have some lands, right? Boring stuff. A Soul Ring. Yawgmoth's Will. Oh, this deck is spicy. Black Market Connections, Glasspool Mimic, Ghostly Pilferer, Cover of Darkness. Gonti, Lord of Luxury, super underrated rogue. Thank you, Collector Invest. Ashiok, Dream Render, Cephalid, the Face Taker, the Grim Hireling. We have all the iconic rogues in here. Demonic Consultation, Talisman, Ristic Study, Looter Ill Core. We got the Notorious Throng, all right. Watery Grave, Slitherblade, great card in this deck. Arcane Signet, Notion Thief, awesome card. This card is like key in here, all right. Savage Stream says I could watch deck techs over gameplay all day. I like hearing people's inner thoughts and passion for the builds. Yeah, there's a ton of deck tech on my channel, so make sure you watch it. But River Churn Monument, any number of target players, each mills 2 cards. Exhaust, any number of target players, each mills cards equal the number of cards in their graveyard. This goes super hard in this deck. All right. Thought Vessel, Demonic Tutor, Dark Ritual, Sakashima, Double Down. This card is insane in this deck. Consuming Aberration. All right. Consuming Aberration's power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your opponent's graveyards. Whenever you cast a spell, each opponent reveals from the top cards from the top card of their deck until they reveal a land card. Puts those cards in their graveyard. So this goes super hard. Tiny Bones from Foundation. Great card. Mana Drain. Lightning Greaves. Mystic Remora. Fierce Guardianship. Beautiful printing of the Dothy Voidwalker. Couple of lands. We have a Brotherhood Regalia, Bitter Blossom, and this card here. Tell me, Collector Invest. Tell me if you have this card in there. Bruvac, the Grandiloquent. If an opponent would mill 1 or more cards, they mill twice that many cards instead. So that is my Anwan the Rune Thief deck. Great Way Production says, I saw your Edgar Markov deck tech, took a different route and built Edgar combo with Phyrexian Altar and Oathsworn Vampire combo. Love that. Great way of thinking. And that's the beauty of Magic the Gathering. You can build decks a bunch of different ways. So there is my Anwan the Rune Thief deck. Didn't intend to show that off today, but we did. And that was a lot of fun. And so, yeah, muscles. Magic the Gathering. Love going live. And yeah, love spending time with you. Savage Streaming says I've been going through all of them. Then I saw you were alive. Corm the Undertaker is my baby deck. Love it. I would love to actually see that. Drop a link to it somewhere in the comments. That would be cool. Love Corm the Undertaker. He's actually in my Disa the Restless deck. So I wanted to build it around him, but I built it around Disa. Maybe I'll revisit that. But yeah, Muscles, Magic the Gathering. Love seeing you all. Thank you for spending time with me on this Wednesday night, going over something that's a passion of mine. I'm going to go through these cards and see, again, if I got anything that's worth value. I think that one might be worth a little bit. I am going to use it in my deck, so this can be fun. And away we go. Collector Invest is more of a steal my opponent stuff road deck. I like that too. You could build it a bunch of different ways. Again, that's the beauty of Magic the Gathering. So thank you for coming to spend time with me. Love you all. Stay tuned for my deck techs. I'm going to put another one up tomorrow. I'm going to put my Giada Font of Hope deck. And I will see you for the next episode of this thing. Make sure subscriptions, turn your notifications on. Give me supers. Supers actually really, really help me to make content. It's a real labor of love to make content like this. So supers really, really do help when people give me supers. So if you can do that, thank you very much. And that's it. I will see you for the next episode. Remember, subscriptions, supers, support your guy, Bobby Maximus, bringing positivity to the Magic the Gathering universe. Oh, and free Rafellos. Rafellos never hurt anybody. He's no different than the Priest of Titania. He's no different than the guy who's cradled. He's no